Uh, so I hope everyone's feeling good. I keep seeing people following me when I'm not streaming. So hopefully that's a good thing. I'm a little under. I need to get the light over here. I got it in the back there, and I gotta grab a drink. Let's see. Yeah. So today we're gonna be doing some bug squashing, some more bug squashing. But we are so close to having. I want to get the game feeling right. I want to get all these bugs out of the way, and then I'm going to add the last bits of features. Last bits of features after bug squashing will be the rest of the timers to let the ghosts out of their homes. And let me go get the to-dos here. Camera scale, in state for the game. In state of the game is going to be the very last thing, and that's going to be the in state of a stage. Then we can add the rest of the stages and have a fully playable Pacman game. And just to start, I'm basically not going to have any lives limits, so that you could just theoretically, even if you keep dying, playing, get to the through all the levels, and have the difficulty increase as you do so. And I need to check player because there's a lean animations. Darren. Background music. Do I have the audio set up the way I need to do it? Background music. What is this? What the? Music remind. This is. Oh, it froze. I was not expecting that. Well, it's a bit loud, so I gotta. Let me turn down the. Controller died. There we go. This is cool. There's music in the game. I was not expecting that. It reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie so much. That's cool. That's a bit loud. Let me turn that down. Oh, that's cool. All right, so I guess I should lower my own volume. Can I do that? No, I gotta. There's some stuff I need to do to get the headphones where I can control it. I got a soundboard here, but I gotta get some stuff hooked up for it. So, and I guess I should hop on. I should hop on. I'll keep the DVR on. Give me a second here. I'm just getting it. I have to do all the setup for YouTube every single time I stream. It's really cumbersome. But if I don't do it, then it leaves my live stream up on people's subs feed, and I don't want that. Because I don't like having that on my. I end up unsubscribing for people that do that. We'll that's cool. So the way I would do the music stuff is to send a signal up and have the board listen for the signal so that the game board is what's determining the music. So by the way, I'm going to rename it to game.tcs tscn, and then rename game and rename game timer. Okay, just make sure the game still runs properly with that. Yes, okay. And whoa, there's something else I didn't even notice there. There's like a glowing. That's crazy. Up. Okay, that's gonna break things. Let me check that. That shouldn't be happening. That's why I have all the animations in the first place. So let's see about game. Excuse me. So I don't even know what that is. House shield. Brown grass. Bush tile set. Oh, so it's just put on there. How do you delete? Well. Okay. We're getting way too many scenes on the top. So those are definitely things we have to work out later. Okay, how do I turn the music off? Because it's really loud. And because of how I'm streaming, I can't turn my volume down. I don't think it's supposed to look like that. When I play the game, it doesn't look like that. And I gotta turn this music off. Was not expecting music. Background music test. So this is happening inside the player. So the player has something in the scene. Ah, here we are. Volume. Autoplay. I'm going to turn autoplay off on that. Well, no, because if I do that, how do I just... Is there a way I can just disable? Oh, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Well, nothing's wrong with the music. It just got It's just that when I'm streaming, I can't control the volume of my computer headphones. I gotta get the... Because Macs are weird about sharing their audio. So I think I have to go here. So this right here. Okay, now if I lower this, I should be able to... Thanks, Cobalt. Have fun at work. Nope, that didn't do it. Is it one of these? Must be one of these. Let's try again. Whoa, that got the bloom. Why is there so much bloom there? What did I break? All right, let's... Okay, I think it's this tile set. I must have scrolled something wrong in the tile set. Okay. Seriously, how do I change the volume? Is it... No? This is ridiculous. All right, let's run the game. We're just going to have to... The music reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie so much. Nope. Nope. There it is. Okay. What's with the bloom? Man, I've really screwed things up. I just opened a scene and I don't know what I did that caused the bloom. What did I do? What did I do? I guess it's this. All right, that lowered it. I honestly don't know how that happened, but I'm going to commit these changes because I want these the scenes names to be more logical. So I've got to commit these changes right now before I get too far into things. And then we'll get on to the bug squashing. How's it going, White Jesus? And that's for the scene change, name change. And we'll just disregard that change. There we go. I feel you, man. Oh, I hate that. You feel so guilty when that goes on. Or sometimes you need it, you know? You got to embrace it. You can't feel bad about it. I don't know if you feel guilty about that sometimes, but I sure do. I mean, I didn't do anything an hour before the stream, and I felt like crap about it. Renamed. Files to make more sense. Okay, and we'll push that. Cool. So, oh, come on, don't be... I have to pull. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. Changes will be overwritten by the merge. Maze enemy. Yeah. You know, I was thinking. I think you were asking me about C and like, you're asking me about like Unity and learning. Because I'd mentioned, I didn't want to try to learn another language, and that's definitely part of it. Merge conflicts. These aren't conflicts. Everything's cool. I use OBS. I use OBS. And there's some tweaks that I made. I'm on a Mac. Okay, so this is the one that's really mad. What is it mad about? I know I pulled. I don't know why it's complaining. Error. Committing is not possible because you have unmerged files. What files? Yes. Well, now I've really got to figure out, what did I break? Oh, there's like eating noises and stuff. Oh, it's like 3D sound. That's cool. It actually pans. I streamed for about before I got you guys. Honestly, all of you, White Jesus and you, Cobalt, and everybody that was on that one stream where there was quite a few people. That all happened after I was streaming for like I don't know. Let me look up my YouTube. Oh, you know what? I usually clear my cache. Oops, there's my Brave rewards. Don't look at that. There we go. Clear my data. But I usually let me check, because I've got uploads. I've got my entire stream history of doing this game. You could actually go back and watch it start to finish. But I can't recall. Yeah, and there's my passwords. Oh, but if you don't use Brave, you've got to use Brave. I've got almost almost $200 US dollars in it. It's really cool that you're just browsing the internet and blocking ads and making money. All right, where's my playlists? Your channel. It's a web browser. It has built-in ad blocking, and then it has a. You can either. It's got a currency to it, like a cryptocurrency, but you can either keep it or have it automatically donate to the websites that you go to, if they're set up with their own Brave wallet, and that includes like Twitter accounts and YouTube and things like that. It'll just keep a history of how much money you've earned, and then in the cryptocurrency, and then also determine who you've been to, and then give them a bit of the money you earned. Oh, no problem. Sorry, I'm I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff right now. Let me see. So 38 videos. When did I start streaming? This was all the way back in January 26th is when I started streaming, and I've been streaming pretty much every day since. Yeah, that should work. Go ahead. And then I'm going to get Discord open. But I use something called shoot. Give me a second here. I got to get in ripcord. There we go. Get into the voice. Join voice. Okay, now I'm in voice. Okay, so I'm on Discord as well. On the voice side of things. Okay, now I'm all set. Now I can actually work. Oh, Cobalt, you stream? I'll follow you. It's so funny. I didn't even put that together. Give me a second here. Twitch. Did not even put it together. Boop. There you go. Seattle, you're in Seattle. I'm nearby you, dude. I'm like an 8-hour drive away. It's probably more like 10. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's probably better you're not in Seattle. I went there 2 years ago and it's not looking too good. All right. Yeah, it's changed. It was 5 years since the last time I had been there. And man, it's amazing how quickly a place can change. All right, let me do some coding. Let's actually get to work here. Let's boogie. Let's see. Let's do some bugs. Let's hit up some bugs here. Now there's a glitch, and I think I figured out partly what's causing it. Okay, here's some bad guys. Man, it really reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie. And that's like the Microsoft save noise from like Windows 3. So there's some... I'm trying to figure out the conditions for the glitches. Let me get the stage showing up on the characters. There's like... Let's go back over here, and it's starting to actually look like a game, though. You notice that? It's like legit starting to look like a game. Got a while to go. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I think that even in America, even in the United States, that was true until the internet started to dispel a lot of that mystique, and suddenly you could actually talk to people that lived in those areas and get a real feel of what they were like. No, Seattle. I don't want to talk ill about areas that people live in and stuff because yeah, no, it's when I was there. I don't want to, because then it's all of a sudden we'll start talking about politics and stuff like that, and I do not want to. I don't want to go there because we just know each other as people and we like each other, and that's good. And if we think of each other as ideas, then we start to not like each other. All right. Boo, boo. Okay, so the bloom is too much. It's actually going to make troubleshooting hard. Hey, Darren, if you're watching, or Tolomite, let me call you Tolomite. What should I do to decrease the bloom on the enemies? Where should I go? Oh, I can't hear you on Discord. No, sorry. Oh, what is going on? Oh, there's me. I don't hear you. Can you say something? I don't see your audio going. Let me close out and back in on the audio. Maybe it's something I'm doing. You there? I still don't see any audio from you. Let me I mean, I could actually try using Discord. I'm using Ripcord because I don't like using Discord. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a good policy. Avoiding politics. But also not avoiding the. Okay, so. Hey, are you there? All right, well, I'm on Discord, Kiv, or Tolomite, and so I'm definitely not seeing your chat, your audio going. So I think it's something on your end. No.
Hello?
Hey, there you are. How's it going?
Oh my god.
It's every time with Discord. It's just like using anything nowadays. Any tech.
Yeah, dude, it sucks. It's like my mic, other half it doesn't.
So, what do I need to do to lower the bloom on the enemies? So that is it?
Lower the bloom?
Yeah, it's just when they're leaving their home, it's just kind of oversaturated, and I can't tell what's going on. And a lot of the glitches are happening during those animation steps, so I need to see them a little more clearly.
Oh, okay, one sec.
So guys, apparently I'm actually there's only two things that have to happen for me to be able to become a Twitch not partner, but the other one, affiliate. So I've almost gotten it twice. There's been a few streams when I got really close, but I need 5 people on a stream in a given stream and 5 people talking at the same time in the chat. And once I hit those watermarks, then I will become an affiliate, apparently. So that's cool. I don't know what that means. I think. I don't know. I'm going to go get a drink, which means I'm going to walk over 2 steps, grab something, and come back. And I promise I'm going to start coding here in a second. It's I'm also kind of burning. I didn't really want to stream. The thing about streaming is sometimes I just I don't know. It's not as bad as I used to stream playing video games and stuff, and that was really stressful. And this is not that. It's just sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I want to have a podcast on or something when I'm coding. Well, when I would stream video games, I would get a much younger audience, and they, the way that I wanted to stream, they would get very attached. I guess is the way to put it. Because I would do things where I would try to pull in the people watching to like be in the stream on the games and stuff. I don't know if I should show this window because it's going to have some account settings. And it got to be very hard for me because the audience was really young and they were very I don't want to say needy. That's not the right word. They were very lonely, maybe. And there was quite a few times where I'd be dealing with very upset young people and emotionally distraught, let's say. And it was just too much. It was a weird kind of thing to have happening. Okay, so why am I not hearing? Why am I not hearing the chat sounds? Sorry, this is definitely not what multi-out. Multi-out, that's what. Sound effects. No. Notifications. Maybe it's something in notifications I broke. Let's see, where is it? Restream. Play sound. Yeah, that's probably a good word though, is dependent. I had a kid, I was doing a Minecraft server and had all this cool stuff going on with it and everything. But I had a kid. Yeah. That was the other thing. It just felt like a huge burden because of the I don't know. So it was too much. I couldn't do it.
All right, man. I just lowered the bloom for frightened mode. I think that's when that's happening. So and pushed it.
Okay, let me pull. See, it keeps stepping on. Okay, no. I don't want to go back. Get rid of that. Enemy. Discard. Pull. And let's try again. The music. Null instance. Player connect power palette null instance. So I'm getting an error now. Get node player. Maze enemy. That was weird. It just went away. Let me close this out. Man, the music reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie so much.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I downloaded some stuff from Incomtech, which is royalty-free stuff. You just have to like put his information in the credits. He specifically says that for video games and YouTube channels and stuff. And I used to use him for my YouTube channel stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna start it again. It should work. Ugh, there's all kinds of bugs.
Yeah, it was weird. He like came out and then went back in.
Well, it's because you've got rid of the collision. There's supposed to be a bounding box in there that's gone now, but that's not. They shouldn't be moving like that regardless. So there's something else going on besides that. Like that shouldn't have happened anyways. I'm gonna turn on. I have the labels on, but now I can't see the enemy labels for their states.
I can put that wall back in place.
Oh, there they are. Okay. Yeah, if you can do that on the game board real quick, that'll be good. I'm going to commit this change to the enemy. Well, no, I'm not going to commit it. I'll leave it. And discard. That's. Yeah, some of these bugs are going to be hard to figure out. But I think the first one, okay, so the first one I'm going to work on, let me open up the code for it. I'm going to work on the coming and going code for the enemies, going home and entering and leaving home. I have a feeling it has something to do with the tweening of the animations. Excuse me. It sounds like I have PTSD. It feels like it a little bit. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I understand why a lot of people who stream games, they keep their audience really far from them. And they create a way to engage with them without getting close to them. With this, I feel completely different. Like I want to get to know like other developers and stuff like that. Cause I personally feel, and I think like you guys identify, there's like a lack of community. There's almost nobody who streams code development. There are a lot of people who make videos about making games, but they don't stream the process of it. And I feel like that's another important thing to see is that like kind of the amount of time that you spend like beating your head against a wall just like on a problem or trying to understand something or think of a way to think of something, how to do something. Like the thinking of how to do something, that can take a while. And it's sort of, somebody makes a devlog video and they take what took them 3 days and it's 5-second explanation and they make it seem like it's just nothing. It's definitely, I think there's a lot of persona out there when it comes to people who produce stuff like that. And in that space, I also feel like there's an elitism that's starting to grow within that group of developers, which I think is actually kind of funny. So let me just look at the code here. I'm using lerp. And I'm lerping between I'm lerping between. So the home steps are all the same. So I don't even need. It really could be. It could be just like this. If I go home steps is 0, 0, 0. Like this. If I do this, and then I just say go home. Location. And then we'll get rid of the second vector too, because they all have the same first step. Go home location. Maybe that's part of the problem. Start position. Go home. And maybe I should call it, instead of, well, it's not location, it's position. Let's see here. So I'll save that, and then we'll do go home location. And this is a vector 2. And then we're going to go, it's really bothering me. I can't get the sound to play. Yeah, no, yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, another way to look at it is by, let's rename it. Let's do a search here. So we're going to do go home location. I'm going to change it to go home position. I mean, we could call it go home 2. How about home position? There we go. Now we'll rename all. There we go. Home position. Yeah, that's better. So the code. You'll notice these are almost identical. This is a refactor waiting to happen. Excuse me. So I see the problem. Here it is. Enter home. We're using starting position. That's not correct. We need to use their last position. Or no, the current position. And we're going to home position. Leave home. The same thing's happening. It's using starting position. But that's not going to be the same. Okay. I think I'm getting it. So we're going to use position on both. Let's give it a shot. I think that might actually fix it. Oops. What happened? It's bombing on me. Disconnected. Why is it disconnected? Retry. There we go. F5. What's going on? Debugging process stopped. Why? Yeah, it's a portrayal, and I don't think it's intentional. I think that what they're doing is error while parsing game TCNs. Well, that's not good. There's another game. Z-index. Made some money.
Hey man, I just pushed an update that hopefully fixes that.
Okay. Yeah, I've got some weirdness going on here. I don't know why. We're stepping on each other's toes a lot with... Let me pull again. Little worried right now because it's giving me an error about the main game file. All right, I'm gonna pull again. What is going on? Yeah, it's like lately your pushes keep there's keep being merges, but I'm not seeing what has to be merged. It says there's one change coming down, but it won't. I don't know how to see what it is. It wants me to commit everything I'm doing right now, but I don't want to. Like, I'm not in a position to do that just yet.
Yeah, I've seen that happen too.
You have not concluded your merge. Merge head exists. Hint, please commit your changes before merging. There are no stages to commit. Would you like to stage all your changes? It's telling me never, always. That's so permanent. Why isn't there just a no? If I do this, it's going to pull. No, I don't want to. Now it's going to treat that as part of the merge. Ah. Wow. What happened? Error parsing game.tscn. That's not good. Timeline. The scene for you, is it still called error parsing game.tsn? Oh, okay. Is that what I was talking about? There we go. Ah, the bloom, the bloom. It's too much. Mine eyes, mine eyes. All right, so.
Yeah, mine doesn't look like that, so I don't know.
I hit something when I was when I was looking at everything. What was it that I messed with that fixed it? The energy setting. Does that sound right for light 2D?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, just a lower.
The bloom is on the world environment, so any lighting, the stronger the light, the more bloom that gets created.
Okay, so I'm gonna commit this right now because I don't know why it's so bad for me. Bloom adjustment. I could have. Did I? What? Wait.
And you can also go into the world environment and change the intensity there of glow. Like if it's just too much.
Okay. Did you ever watch Glow on Netflix? I like that. It got canceled. It was good.
That was the one with Annie from Community, right?
Yeah, it was based off the. It was a pseudo. Based off of something real, but they changed a bunch of it. The. Ladies of Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that means I'm Big Brother. And I'm the 24-hour game dev stream. Hey, Freakster. What's the question? All right, so now let's see if I fix the problem. I'm like, what was I doing? I just totally forgot. All right, let's see if this works. Oops, let me close the background scene. It's causing some... For some reason, having the game scene open while it's playing causes it to wig out. Okay. So let me go back. And we're gonna draw. I'm gonna close up that hole in the scene for now, Darren, and then.
I closed it. It should be pushed.
We're out of sync. Let me pull again. I must have overwritten it in my merges.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, I closed it and modified the animation.
Crap. Sorry. I'll close.
No worries.
I'll close it up. Oh yeah, it goes over the thing you made.
Yeah, so I moved it.
Well, let me here's what you can do. If you pull changes right now, it'll go back to the state that I'm in. And then you can fix it, and we should stop stepping on each other's toes. I need to read up on Git. I'm just not well versed in it. I have a BFA degree in game development, but I specialize in the Unity game engine as a programmer. Will I be able to apply for coding jobs in gaming industry? Oh, my streaming name is so misleading. let's see. I have yeah. I mean, there's tons. I'm not an expert to answer this question, but um, it's about your resume. It's about having completed games. You need to have shown that you have completed a game. Complete a game. Make a full game. The whole thing, and not like a AAA quality thing, but just show that you can go through the process of making a game from start to finish. And you can do that different ways. You could do game jams and things like that. But I don't see why that the engine you're using isn't really going to prohibit you from getting a job. It's showing whether or not you can do the job. So you need to make a game. Yeah, no, that's good right there. And just build on it, you know? That's what I would say. And I think it depends a lot on what field you're trying to go into as well. There's a talk from Todd Howard that's really good that he kind of talks about what they look for at Bethesda, which depending on whether or not that's a company you want to work for or not, that's I guess a different question. But yeah, then you need to just you can collaborate with artists and stuff like that, BFA and game development. When you got your BFA, did you work with other people to make a game? Was that like part of the teaching? And hang on, I need a light because I'm pretty dark.
Well, I pulled your changes. I did a couple pulls, but it's still showing my version, not yours.
That's weird. Let me get this light plugged in. There we go. That's better.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless the push hasn't made it to the server, I don't know.
No, because you would still see it in there if it hadn't. I'm pulling again. Let me close and reopen. Maybe it's me that's maybe it's me that's I don't know, something about Godot's. It doesn't have to be something big. That's the main thing. And it can have programmer art too. But at least, I've... Let me close this out. Right, it's causing the directions issue. I restarted and I lost it, so I'm just going to manually do that, and then I'll commit it and push it, and then hopefully then you'll see it, the change, and then you can fix up the rest.
Can you pull mine since you lost it?
No, I keep pulling, but I think it's because of how I did the merge or something. I really need to just read up on Git, because there's like... I've always used Git on my own, and when there's a merge, I need to understand more of what's going on. And I think maybe VS Code's not the place to be doing the pushing and pulling. Enemy wall back up. All right, let me push it up and then see if you get this. Okay, it's pushed. I'm using something called GDScript, which is it's closest to Python in its syntax and some of its approach, I think. Although I have no experience with Python to speak of, so I can't say for certain. I've just heard people comment on that. It's a scripting language. It's not like it's not something that like C. Yeah. So the engine I'm using is called Godot. It does support C#. There's a mono version of it you can download. So that's there as well. But I really like the engine. I like the approach that it has for. Okay, so now let me check the ghosts leaving, coming and going, just to make sure.
Okay, yeah, and I got your change.
Okay, sorry about that. I think if you just put the effect on top of the above the. Oh, I died.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. It seems like it won't go over it for some reason. It's really weird. I'm checking the Z index and it doesn't make any difference. Oh, I think I understand what it is.
Gosh, now I have like the opposite problem with the enemy coming and going. Yeah, it does. Version 4 of Godot is going to be out soon, and that'll have Vulkan support. But it does support 3D. It's the 3D and the 2D engine are separate, but you can have them both running on top of each other. It has some limitations. The lighting is not up to. A lot of people complain about lighting, but the next version of Godot 4 has quite a few things that are better with that. Let's see, for 820. This has got to be. Ah. Hmm. Oh, I'm lerping the position on itself. So I need to use last position. Is that the... No. I see the problem. Okay. Leave home. Leave home can come from home position.
Okay, that should be fixed now.
Home position.
It's gonna be a brighter glow, unfortunately, because of there's a tile underneath it now. But it works.
Okay, and I'm lerping time. All right, let me pull those down now before I forget. And enter home is called once we reach... should be one. Home position. I think this is okay. I think I finally got it. Okay, leaving looks good. Now let's eat one of these guys. Rom. I love the chase music. Or the frightened. Oh, I missed it. Did it go right? It looks like it's going right. There we go. It looks like it's working now. I think I got it all fixed. Ah! Ah! Alright. So there's a lot of animation bugs, clearly. But as far as like flipping it to their chasing, but they're coming and going right now. So I've solved that. And this was all that it took in the code here. The problem was, here was what was causing the bug. Since I was lerping, and this enter home is called every frame, the value I'm giving it is time, because I'm tweening. I'm doing a tween using a linear plot between 2 seconds. I give it a value starting from 0 to 1. And so because I was using their current position, and before that I was actually using their last position, so it was almost identical, the lerp was happening on itself. The number would increment for time, but the position would keep updating too. And so it wasn't lerping between two space, time between 2 points in space, because one point in space was constantly getting closer to the other one. So now that I've got that static home position set up, when we're leaving home, we start from home. That's why it's at the top here on that function. And then on entering home, it's the last position that it's trying to get to. And that's why that was happening. Fixed entering and exiting. Home. Yeah, what is that? Home. How do I just hit? Do I just hit enter? No. Shift enter? No. Alt enter? No. There we go. Oh, what? That just. Yeah, okay. Push. Yeah, I see your change. It looks good too. So now let's see if we can tackle the weirdness with the state changing animation issue. And I guess to know for certain, we're gonna turn back on. Gosh, that's weird. The enemy. Yeah, the enemy label just isn't showing up. Don't save. Ah, helps if I save the scene. Here we go. So these labels show the present state of the enemies. They're all running state machines. And so we can see them in action. So yeah, leaving home's all good. All right, so feeling good about that. Let's go back and yeah, Cobalt caught what I was doing. You must have left that comment when I was coding, because that's exactly what I realized. One of the things I was doing incorrectly as well, which explains why sometimes they would go in and they'd sort of like bounce around for some reason. Yeah, the other reason why I like Godot is just because it has a really tight community. It's open source. You don't have to share, make a split a cut with somebody else. And the engine, since the engine's open source, if you ever felt the need, you could actually compile your own version of it if there's something that you wanted to put in it as well. Okay, so now let's figure out why the enemy animation is not. So this bug worries me, Darren, because I have no idea why it's not firing.
Oh, like going back to chase and all that?
Yeah, I was thinking about when the best point is to do that, to change the animation state. And I think that it's going to be when, because I have two signals that fire when the state is changed, pre-state change and post-state change. And I'm thinking that the best time to flip the switch on the animation is pre-state change, because I'm going to know what state I'm going from and to. But let me see, pre-state changes. That's where I'm doing it. Leave home. Enter home. I don't like the enemy code. It's getting a little too chunky. Especially.
Yeah, it seems like the animation just should fire anytime they enter that particular state, right?
Right. New state is leave home. And then I changed the animation to, let me double check the enemy scene, the animation tree. To 2, which would be 0, 1, 2 chase mode. See, and I'm using set on animation tree, and I don't know if that's. This is the part that's weird to me, dude. When I search animation tree in the documentation, I do not see set as an option. Oh, but it's a parameter. That's got to be why it's not working. Because set is on the because animation tree is a child of node, and set is a object. Is it an object method, as they call it here? Set. I still think about that time you told me the story of when I want to say you were talking about EverQuest or something, and how no, it was WoW, and you had that what do they call them? The groups of people that play together? I can't even remember. Guild, and everyone just decided to bail at the same time, and the one guy was trying to keep it all together, and you described him like when you said you were leaving or whatever, it was like E2 Brute.
Yeah. Yeah, that was World of Warcraft.
the way he told that story, I still think about it. Just oh gosh.
It felt like.
Okay, so this is not the way to trigger the animation. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I thought I'm trying to set the animation directly, but because I'm setting a parameter, animation tree, when linked with an animation player, several properties and methods of the corresponding animation player were not. The animation player node should be used solely for adding, deleting, and editing animation. Then why do you call it the animation player? That doesn't make any sense. Anyways. Playback and transitions should be handled only using the animation tree and its constituent animation nodes. Oh, hang on. Your animation node that you're using, the tree root, is node blend tree. That's how I should be firing the animations.
Yeah, and really that should probably be state machine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go off what it really is right now, which is node blend tree. Animation node blend tree. Inherit this when creating nodes mainly for use in animation node blend tree. Otherwise, okay, so here we go. And animation, it inherits animate root node and animation node. This node may contain a subtree of other blend types. Okay. Yeah, I used to use animation state machines, but I come to realize that I know I just read your comment again, but I'm reading it again. So now I just call the animations directly. Well, what ideally what I would like to do is just pass, because I got the state machine running in the AI. I would like to just be able to pass my state to the animation state machine, and just say the enemy state is this, and then that just, the corresponding animation state machine goes, okay, I know what to do. I know I'm going from this state to this state, and I'm going to do this next, kind of thing. And I suppose I could have that behavior because I have these signals that fire pre and post state change. So I could really lazily just set that information in the animation side. The other thing that I really wish is that my states knew when the animations would finish firing. Okay, so add node, disconnect node.
Yeah, to me, the state machine works fine for the enemies in their current state. But for the player, there's just multiple things that can happen, which, the lean kind of introduced that idea. So I figure we'd probably end up doing something similar for enemies as well at some point. So that's why I ended up setting it up the way it is. But I did set up a test tree that's state machine for player. So I don't know if you want to
hook it up.
take a look at that.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not seeing how do I play the damn animation. Like how do I do it programmatically? Okay, so transition. It's got to be transition. There has to be something about. You've got this thing called transition. Animation node transition. Animation node transition. Here we go. A simple state machine for cases which don't require more advanced animation node state machine. Okay. Set input caption. Methods. Get input caption. Animations can be connected to the inputs. And the transitions can be specified. So, what is this called down here? Input 3. Input. Is input set as auto advance? Get input caption. Set input as auto advance.
This is interesting. Maybe it's a get.
Set input. It's not even, there's no comment in the code. Input count. Generic animation node for inches.
Yeah, that link that I just put in shows a state machine, and they're creating a function that actually gets the animation. It's state machine equals animation tree dot get. and then parameters playback.
Problem. A common situation. You have a large number of animation. It's becoming difficult to imagine. Your code becomes full of if statements, right? Solution. Animation tree is an animation state machine. This will allow our organizations, blah, 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 blah. For this demo, we'll use an above spreadsheet. We have the following animations. Okay. Add an animation tree to the scene. Is a node that controls animations created in animation player. To let it access the existing animations, click assign in the property select your animation node. Animation tree panel. Blah, 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 blah. Do they show how to execute in code? Okay, so we have, so that's a state machine for sure.
Yeah, and see that makes sense to me based on what the animations are. But when you're trying to, let's say, run and attack at the same time, I don't see how that would work. Because it travels, like the run switches to attack instead of like running and attacking.
Well, you would need one that goes between the two, I think. So you would need an attack one, a run one, and then a run and attack one that would be in between the two. Or not in between, but I don't know. I'm not sure. This is
that's where I got a little confused.
Yeah, this is like a kind of a whole new thing for me to wrap my head around. Unity.
And the spaces allow you to blend multiple animations together. But I was also reading that you can create a root node of a state machine and then add blend trees to the state machine. So that might be the way I should be doing it.
Well, so in his example, he's using a call. So the get is simply to get the he's just get parameters playback. That's the state machine. Then he's using travel. So travel must be an object call.
Travel is the arrows between the different states.
Right, animation node. But where's...
You can define how it travels, like if it travels simultaneously, if it has to finish the first animation before traveling to the second, etc.
I'm just trying to figure out what class that's... State machine travel. One of the nice features is the ability to travel. The graph can be instructed to go from the current state to another one while visiting an intermediate area ones. This is done via an A* algorithm. To use the travel ability, you must first retrieve the node stage from... Okay. Well, so for that to work for the enemies, the animation tree needs to have a tree root of state machine and not blend tree.
I'll try and rig that up real quick for enemy because they have a lot less to worry about.
Okay. I'm confident there's a level of understanding with the terminology that I don't have. Yeah, that's another way to go about it. Why Jesus is to do it on at runtime, and it depends. I mean, it depends on what we do later on, because there might be a situation where, like for example, if you were to do something where you had the player have different like armor or something, and you needed to create the animations on the fly, so to speak, based off of certain attributes that are physical to the. But I'm just trying to see how we're getting this travel, like where this travel, what class is actually, and I'm pretty sure it's the animation. But the other thing I'm trying to figure out is animation tree, animation node. Inherit this when creating nodes mainly for use with animation, for use in node blend tree. Blend input. Let's see. Add input. Adds an input to the node. This is useful for nodes created using a blend tree. Blend animation. By blend amount, name must be valid. A time and delta may be passed, as well as whether seek happened. See, these are all terms that describe something that is something that people who do animation would know what the hell this is. Seek, I'm guessing, is how far in the frame it's playing it. So if your animation timing, like say you have a sword swing and you're going to blend from one animation to a next, like the player has rotated, but they're mid swing, you keep the animation going by the seek amount. No, seeked is a bool. It's a boolean. Whether seeked happen, I don't know. The time parameter is a relative delta unless seek is true, in which case it's absolute. Blend node. Blends another animation node, in this case contains. Okay, so the term input is describing the different animations that you've created and you've brought in as, it refers to them as inputs for the blend tree, right? Then you have, okay, I think I'm starting to understand this. I might be able to figure this out. Blend an animation. String animation. Blend an input. Blend animation. So if I choose okay. Blend an input. This is only used from the nodes created with blend tree. The time parameter is relative delta. Unity has a fake state called any state. So if I trigger, if I set the trigger for the state I want, it'll transition it from any state without needing a connection between all states. Yeah, this animation tree set. That's a bad way to do it. The way it works in Unity is you have triggers and the outputs are animation. The triggers would be inputs. Based on your node setup, it looks like you have the animations as inputs. Right. So that's what. So I'm seeing two methods here that I can call blend animation and blend input. And so in this tree here, if I'm to look at this, these are the animations. And then in this transition here, node transition, these are the inputs. What I'm wondering is, so yeah, so like what you're saying, for instance, if I change the input, it'll fire like so. So I'm wondering, blend input, animation node transition, and I am in animation node. Base resource for animation tree nodes. Inherit this. I'm creating nodes mainly for use. Blend tree. Okay, so if I okay. I think I'm wrapping my head around what's going on. So if I take animation tree and I get process mode, is this physics? No. Okay. Hang on. Node path player. There's the animation player. Properties, animation player, root motion track. When linked, okay, so when linked with animation player, several properties that corresponding should be handled. Playback and transition should be handled using the animation tree and its constituent animation nodes. Animation node. Okay, so if I say animation node is a property called tree root. Let's just, on the root here on ready for the enemy, I'm going to print out what I think I need here, which is, so we have our animation tree root. Let's print that out. How long have I been streaming? An hour and 30. Gosh, my streams. All right, let's go back. All right, there it is. I got it. Okay, so yeah, this here, the tree root gives me our blend tree class. Okay, so let's set var call it blend tree equals this. And now we can start talking to the blend tree and figure out what the heck it's supposed to, how it's supposed to work. Animation node, blend tree. Okay, I'm starting to get there. I don't know because I don't use Godot. Grain of salt. Blend trees are usually given a percent driver that blends between two or more animations. Yeah, it has a numerator, which is kind of good because if we can match the enumerator to the state, because my states are actually enumerators as well, then we can just pass the state enumerator to the. If we can match up the numbers of the enumerators to the animation side, then whoever's doing the animations knows that it'll transfer. But let's do a test blend here. So for the fun of it, we're just going to go blend tree, add node. Where is it? Where was I reading all the stuff about? A node that contains a subtree of many other blend type nodes, such as one shot. Graph offset. Add node, connect node. Animation node transition. How did I get to that? That's where I want to be. Inherited by animation node transition. A generic transition node for animation tree. Okay, so if this tree root parameters. So this is why it's setting its so currently it's trying to just change it like this. By setting the transition parameter. Animation node blend tree root. I know, I'm sorry I'm saying the same stuff again and again and again. Animation node transition. So how the heck... Hang on a sec. Let's go back to blend tree. No, trust me, the neurons are firing in here. Animation root node. Although now I'm laughing like the Joker, so... Here we go. Okay. I'm not crazy. We're getting it. So now, okay. So we got our blend tree. And we're going to do blend. Please autofill. Blend input. And then, is it going to complain? No, even though that's totally... All right, let's go back. Animation node blend tree inherits root animation root node and an animation node. Animation node is what we want to fire our blending. Blend input is the one that we want to do float time. The time parameter is a relative. Delta. Blend input. And let's just make it switch to, we'll go straight to frightened. So we're going to go 1 on a numerator, and we're going to call, we'll do 1 second blend. Why do I have to set all of this? Why aren't these, seek, let's just try true to see what that looks like. Float, blend. Blend and input. Float, blend. right. Well, we'll just try one. One's on everything. One's across the board. Let's run the game. See what happens. Nothing. All right. Float. Blend. Why is it a float? The value of the amount of blend. What does that mean? See, this is I'm truly ignorant on this, so I don't know. Cuz I feel like I'm just if it's between 1 and 0, why did they make it a okay, it's a float between 1 and 0. 1 being 100%. Seek. And what does seek mean? Let's put seek to false. They're certainly not going to the animation state frightened. And it might be because we're on ready. Let me change it on the we'll move it we'll move it down. It's not firing. I mean, it's not complaining either. So I'm hitting what I need to. Let's see. Input index. Now, is input index a... It's an integer. Input index is an integer. So presumably this is 0, 1. Let's just change it to 2 or something like that. So we'll go... we'll change it to 2 just to see if this changes anything. No. Yeah, I'm not hearing you, Darren.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so you couldn't hear me before?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, what Cobalt was saying was correct. You can set a value of how much multiple animations blend together. That's kind of the whole point of doing it that way.
So what's the point of the blend? Like, how does it... What is it... Okay, so it's blending between the two states.
Yeah, so like for us, it would be like the tire rotation, wanting to be able to blend the tire with the character like leaning forward or something like that. But you want to control each one together and separately at the same time, if that makes sense, because like you may want the tire to rotate faster or slower in some instances, so you would blend things differently that way. So you could set a value of kind of when one is the focus.
Okay, so what you're saying is I've got to add delta to this because it needs to change over time.
Well, possibly. I mean, I still think that setting blend tree as the root is probably the wrong way to go. So I set up a state machine several minutes ago, and so it's ready if you want to pull it for enemy.
Yeah, let's do that. I feel like like doing it with a state is going to be easier for me to wrap my head around if I can figure out how to get it to fire. So let's see. Yeah, I'm clearly like, I'm just not getting it.
Well, it's very weird. Like even when I was playing around with parameters for blend, it wasn't clear to me exactly what was happening.
Well, yeah, and if I'm passing delta, I don't know how to... I mean, have I got to Anyways, there's problems with it because I've got to keep a variable to show the passage of the blend.
Yeah, I just think state's the way to go.
So okay, so I pulled it in, and I see.
Right, so now there should be animation tree 2.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, bending. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and I set it up that way because I think you can transition from any state to any state, basically, right? Looks like there needs to be one from idle to chase as well.
Way to go, dumbass. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you could do it real quick though. Just click on the little airplane icon on the left.
Oh yes, the airplane icon. Oh, there it is. Okay.
There it is. Click airplane, and then just drag from chase down to idle.
There we go. Back and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. And so with the state machine, I'm guessing then the state machine can handle time for us. Because I just want to be able to tell it, hey, you're in this state now, animate to it.
Yeah, that's the whole goal.
And I mean, if we look at the state machine, okay. So just looking at what they're talking about here. No.
Dinner's almost ready.
Oh, dinner's almost ready. Oh, so 5. Okay. All right, 10 minutes. Can I do it in 10 minutes, guys?
You got it.
Okay, so this is them setting it all up. Calling the states in code. Here we go. Get parameters playback. See, this is the most bizarre part about this whole thing. Is that he's literally grabbing... He's grabbing some parameters. So he's grabbing playback right here. Which is I've just never seen, because you should be able to, the way that they do this dot get thing, like you should be able to do, I'm pretty sure you should be able to do dot parameters dot playback. But okay. And then he's setting it as a global. So we'll call it var state animation. Okay. And then we're going to, so yeah, I just think this whole way that they're doing get and set is not, I don't know. Let me just, I'm out of my own curiosity. I'm going to do parameters. Is it? Okay, so, and then we're going to print out what that is.
That would be animation tree 2, right?
Sorry, what?
I said it would be animation tree 2.
Oh, that is correct, sir. You are correct, sir. Invalid get index. See, so it is using get. Huh. So, because if I do the dot, I'm doing get. I'm doing the same thing. So I don't get why we have to do this instead. This is bizarre. I've just not seen... I don't write my getters like this. See if this works. Yes. Okay, what did we get? All right, there's the state machine playback for each of the ghosts. Okay. So it appears to be working. And let's move this down after speed and before the enemy state machine is being loaded up.
Yeah, and I set the idle animation as the start animation. You can set a start and an end animation. So that might be why it's starting with 0. I don't know.
Okay. And then he's using travel. To call a specific animation, you use travel, which will follow the connections to the given animation. And you've got this by name.
Yeah, the transition's immediate, so it'll just whatever portion of the animation that they're in, it'll just switch to the other one when you do the travel.
Mm-hmm.
But we might want to change that, like for death and stuff like that. We might want the entire animation to play.
Okay, so I'm going to comment out the code that is doing anything with the animation tree presently. And we're going to... Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll just delete them. Okay. Because the best place to call all these animations is when the state changes now. So we'll do it all in pre-state change. So essentially we just need to run... We need to pick which animations represent each of the states. And we've got... state name dot... We've got scatter. We've got chase. Frightened. And I don't necessarily... Actually, I could do a catch. I could do for... Because it's a match. But let me just go through each of them. All right, Cobalt. Have a good one. Yeah, I'll stop by for sure. If I can. I might be able to be on... It's going to be me and the old lady tonight. Stay home and go home. Okay. It's always right when I'm about to get something working that I have to say bye to people watching. That's just funny to me. Okay, so we're going to do the state animate. Let's call it state animate. I like that better. I already like that better. State animate. All right. Pre-state change. Here we go. So state animate dot travel. And then we'd give it the name. Okay. We're almost ready to groove with this. And we'll just have them on each of the... So if we can get the names of these states to be the enumerator values, then I don't have to have these in conditions for each of the states that are each of the new states. I can simply call this once before I do any checks, and it'll pass the enumerator value and automatically fire that animation. I guess I could do that right now. Is there... So how did you give them these names?
Those are the animation names. So those would be defined in animation player. Yeah, player mode. Yep.
Let's look up... Well, to answer your question, about swinging and running, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll just have to rethink it and look at it, because I think it's definitely possible. I think I just might have to combine some of the animations that I was trying to keep separate. But within a state machine, you can also create blends. So I could create a blend animation in a state tree and then still have it be a state.
So death mode, what's that? Is that when they're dead, basically?
Yeah, it's just when they get eaten.
Okay. All right. We're about to see if this works. I'm doing all this code and everything, and then I'm gonna find out some basic things wrong. That's my fear. Nothing happens now. All right, let's see. Frighten mode. And how do I test the state machine?
You can just hit the play button on the box. On each individual box, there's a little play button.
Oh, I was in the plane mode. Chase mode. Death mode. Yeah, it's not changing when I push them.
See the little checkbox at the top right says active? That has to be on. I forgot to turn that on. Click on the animation tree again.
There we go.
Yeah, that has to be on.
Death mode, chase mode.
That might be why it didn't fire, so you should try it.
It looks like chase mode is incorrectly named. Because death mode has the regular... Okay, let's just play it because I think this is going to work now. Saves. I think it's just going to...
It looks like the fans are missing on chase mode.
Yeah, they're just mixed up. Okay, now... Yeah, so they're just firing the wrong ones. It looks like it's working, though. So I just need to make sure...
Yeah, I can fix them now if you want to push.
Yeah, let me push those changes. You can fix it. Sweet! We did it! And that's a
Awesome.
much cleaner way to do it, especially if we get the names to... I can also draw the name out of... Because you need names that make sense when you're testing things. So... Sorry, I am going to say something. I'm transition.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's like a note field or comment or something that I could just use that.
Well, I think it would just... So, I have the enumerators, but I also have the enumerator name. And I have a way to get the current state name, the enumerator name, basically. So... And it's traveling a really small list to get that information. So I think that's probably the way to do it. So it would essentially be like, except we do kind of need a little ambiguous names because we're going to, okay, we're going to use the same, some of the same animations for certain things. So... It just seems like there should be a better way for me to give... Like, I don't understand. And it sounds like Unity's the same way. Like, why can't I just say... Like, I have this variable, treat it like a state. Like, say in Unity, same thing, where... It's an enumerator. It's a list of enumerations, and when you're in the GUI in the IDE for the game engine, because the programmer is saying here's the states, and it's a list of enumerated values, then take those enumerated values and use them as a list that the animator can then. But I guess I'm answering my own question because there are times when the state of the thing and the animation are not going to necessarily line up. And so it might be that what I'm describing is simply that I need another function wherein I go change the like something that's essentially like update animation, and I just pass the value that way, and then in there I have all the conditions for like when to change it from one to the other or something like that. That might be the way to do it more cleanly. I definitely don't like how big this is starting to get in the code. It's getting really cluttered and it's like, I don't know why, but I don't want to be mixing my animation steps so much in my logic. And I just wish there was a cleaner way to separate that. And I think, I don't know.
Well, who knows? There might be. But you have a state machine, enemy state machine now that you can play around with to see if there's a better way of doing it.
Well,
It's pretty straightforward compared to the player.
Yeah. Well, I think what I would do is attach a script to the animation tree. And then I can create the custom functions that I'm talking about in there.
You could do that, yeah.
I think that's how to do it. Because then the code would be in there and it would be separate from this other stuff. It would be way more clean that way. What was I? You know what? I'm going to... That one for sure can go. This one for sure can go. Did you update the what's its?
Huh?
The enemy. What were we updating? There was something we were updating. Well, let me close the. I think this is it, dude. We're gonna get. So those animations are now working correctly.
Yeah, so now if I actually fix them...
Oh, that's right. The names of them. Yeah, if you just change the name, it'll fix it. Like get those Well, like right now if I'm playing chase mode, it appears that chase mode and death mode animations are flipped. When I'm in the animation tree 2 and I'm play chase mode, it looks like probably what you were expecting for death mode.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So if you
I'll look at all of them now that they're connected, right?
Yeah, death mode. I'm just gonna rename them. Oh, see, that's funny. Chase mode. Get rid of the 2 there. Let me just try it now. Okay, I gotta go. My wife's... Everybody have a good night. I gotta go eat dinner.
Bye.
Bye! Yeah, there we go. Okay, so... Frightened and death mode are also backwards, so frightened... I'm fixing it right now, so you don't have to worry about that. I'll push it up too.
That's weird. I don't know how they got all messed up like that.
Okay. Now let's try. I gotta save the scene. Go back. Run it again. There we go. All right, dude. It's working. It's working. It's working. I'm gonna have Gemma play this tonight. She's gonna be so happy. Renamed animations to line up animation tree. All right, cool. Done with that. Everybody have a good night. Anybody else who's watching, I will see you tomorrow. All right, dude. Good work.